Hello, good morning, and welcome back to Side Note, your weekly tangent and unfiltered chat, because there is always a side note. If you're new here, thank you so much for joining and listening. We've had a couple of weeks of kind of themed episodes, like seasonal vibes, birthday, Valentine's. I want to go on to more of a debate today. How is everyone? I hope everyone is doing well, and happy Monday. So we're kicking off Monday with a bit of a good debate. So I'm going to do the side notes of the week today from my category of side notes around like kind of online trends and stuff like that. We have the side notes of the week at the start of every episode to kick us off, and there's all different types of categories, different things that we can discuss, but with this one being around like AI and social media, I thought what better thing to choose than the specific deck of side notes around those topics. So with this one, I actually haven't looked at what ones I'm going to choose. I'm going to have a flick through and just pick them now live on the episode, and then we will discuss them before we get into our main notes of the episode. Okay, hot mess versus clean girl aesthetic. Right. I feel very strongly about this because I think that we've gone a little bit too clean in terms of what we idealize and what we strive for on social media, in terms of like, if it's not aesthetic, why are we posting it? Or if it doesn't look polished and perfect, why are we putting it out there? Like, life is not polished and perfect. Let's cut the shit. We need to bring back more authenticity, more raw and real content where we can actually like base some realism off it. Like, sometimes I look at these like aesthetic videos, and don't get me wrong, I love watching like a bit of aesthetic content online, something that's really like visually pleasing. And of course, I do understand that that is an element here, but it does also create quite an unrealistic way of looking at things. Now, I'm all for you do you post what you want to post. I really enjoy all types of content, but I do think we need to bring back the perfect blend of the clean girl and the messy girl. Life ain't always polished like that, babes. Do you get me? So yeah, I think sometimes what you see, what's out there that looks all clean and perfect and amazing, like it's not always like that. Next one, muting people. For sure, mute and block people that do not serve you. Like, there is so much content out there now. Like, engage with things that actually make you happy and make and bring out a good side in you. Like, there's so many people that like follow things that actually make them feel shit, and there's a way of balancing that out. Do you know what I mean? There is so much shit out there now. Like, oh my god, at least make it curated to what you genuinely like and enjoy. And if someone's pissing you off, mute them, block them. Do you know what I mean? Anyway, I am quite excited now for the main part of the episode. Obviously, I just think that the way that the world's going mad, quite frankly. And one massive part of all of our lives now, whether we like it or not, and that is something I'll get into, is AI. It is fucking terrifying. It is scary, okay? There is so much shit going on now with AI. For example, you could be scrolling and you might be looking at AI content and they're not even declaring that it's AI. Why? Like, why am I living in an age where I'm looking at things online? There's one thing, someone posting their life and posting the highlight reels and not the reality of the situation, for example, but at least it's still real content. We are scrolling now and we don't know if what we're looking at is actually real or fake. And it's quite scary. There's so many videos that I've seen where I've ended up going to the comments, and the comments, literally, people end up debunking it and saying this is AI. And you know what? Sometimes it's kind of like, what if it wasn't AI? And actually now we just simply don't believe anything anymore because there's that much AI shit. And you know what? Half of it is absolute brain rot, mate. There is so much AI bollocks out there. It is absolutely ridiculous. Now, I think we live in scary times of not knowing what's real, essentially. That means that we essentially have to do a little bit more due diligence to realize whether what we are seeing is real or it isn't. Yeah, I personally think that there needs to be like legislation put in place that protects us, i.e., okay, AI is a thing, people are using it. Do we have measures in place which mean that they have to legally declare that that video was created using AI? There's one thing like enhancing a video using it, but actually making a video from scratch and it's fake. It's literally fake. And we're scrolling past this shit like it means nothing. It's not a joke, this, like the rise of AI is absolutely terrifying. And I think that what is more so terrifying is the fact that we're not even having it disclosed to us officially that it is AI. Basically, I am recently for the podcast actually paid a freelancer to create me a jingle, right? And the jingle, when I got it back, it literally sounded like AI straight up. And I asked for some changes because they'd marketed it as if like, we create you a jingle from scratch, like we'll do all the sound composition, all of that. I don't know the technicalities of it, but they basically marketed it as like they would do it from scratch. So I'm like, brilliant. From that, I said like, I'm more than happy to pay for like the revisions, but I'd really like it if you can like take this sound out here and add in that sound there and stuff like that. Now, I don't know the technicalities, but I had already looked at how to generate a jingle using AI online, and I tested it because I thought I can't really afford to pay for one. If I could just make one like that, then great. But how it works when you do that is any feedback that you give the AI, it doesn't change what it's just created you, if that makes sense. It actually generates you a new and improved, completely new song or jingle based on the feedback that you gave from the original source. So you can't actually change and make changes as you could with a human touch to those elements. For example, like if you wanted to generate a photo, it won't change the exact photo that you've asked it to change. It will generate a completely new photo based on the prompts that you've previously sent it. And if anything, from when I've tried it in the past, you're just kind of like, this is shit. And this is why we need the human element. I went back to them about this jingle because what they'd said to me is, sorry, we can't do amendments. What it would be is generating you a new song. Now I went back to them and said, are you saying that you use AI? Because that's not what you declared. Now, this is where there's a problem with it. Okay, I'm not saying that I wouldn't have been open to AI input if it was going to be right for what I was doing. But the fact of the matter is, you haven't declared it at all. So had I known that and you'd made clear to me to make you aware you are paying for an AI generated service, and that then means that you cannot make alterations to what we send you, because therefore it would essentially be put into a prompt and generate you a new jingle, for example, whatever it is that you're doing. When we're not declaring what is using AI and what isn't, first of all, we are taking away people's like kind of creative freedom of what we're doing, which is what I thought I was paying for. I thought that I would have creative freedom and be able to make amendments, to send back feedback and then kind of adapt it and get it just right. And that is how they marketed the service. And for me, it's like, okay, but had you declared it, at least I would have known what I was going into, and at least I would have known, okay, that's the jingle that it's generated based on their prompts that they've put in, and I can't do anything about that now. There's a big grey area around this, like declaring what is AI and what isn't in terms of content that we consume, but also services that people are providing now. I would have appreciated knowing that. So I actually started a dispute with Fiverr, who I got the freelancing service through. I wouldn't have minded had I known. This is the point. We are all being led down a garden path in some way, whether it's that you're paying for a service or scrolling on Instagram. We don't know what's real and what isn't. We don't even know what we're getting nowadays. And what a kind of worrying and scary time to be in if we're not even disclosing that. I do think that AI can have its benefits if used correctly. Unfortunately, I don't think it is being used correctly half the time. It brings me on to the issue with things like Grok and with children. I don't have children myself. This is just me sharing my own opinion on this. Sharing your children online, I think, has always been dangerous, but now more than ever is extremely dangerous, especially like if you have an account which is public. Once it's out there, it's out there. If anyone doesn't know, Grok is the AI kind of interface that Elon Musk has created for X, I think it is. Essentially what's been proven is that in the wrong hands, it is extremely detrimental and extremely dangerous. Threat to child safety, society, everything. We keep going, oh, grok is undressing children, because essentially grok has been used for predators to undress children, undress women. There's even been people caught doing it, asking grok to make someone look like they've been beaten up or make someone look dead. This is not normal. And no, this isn't grok undressing the kids. It's the people, the predators, the psychopaths using these AI platforms that are the problem. We are quite literally giving predators the tools to live out their fucked up fantasies and do these things for free. We're literally giving it them on a plate. It is absolutely barbaric. It is disgusting. I don't understand how this shit is legal. Why are we giving people free reign? This shit is way more harm than it is good. Like, way more. And we're not doing enough to protect women, to protect children. You don't know what could happen anymore. Like, you could put one photo out and something's going to get done with it. And there are absolute weirdos out there. And not only that, now we're basically giving these people the tools at their disposal to do fucked up shit with it. It's not normal. We don't live in normal times. The way the world's going is crazy. It brings me on to another issue in terms of like children online. I actually saw this account the other day, and it was, you know when people have them accounts where the name of it is the name of the child, it's not the name of the adult, it's just the child on the page. And I mean, I've studied a lot around this way back when at uni, and there should be a lot more done for child safeguarding online in terms of, should we be sharing our kids? I think yes, in some cases, if you want to share your children online, just know what you're signing up for, because it is risky in doing so. I think, people sharing their children in terms of the account, the main focus of the account isn't the children, like, i.e. they share about their life in general, and then the kids are kind of part of that. But when these accounts are made, first of all, the child is not knowingly consenting to that account being made. And if they are consenting, they don't know the full gravity of what that means. There's some quite dark shit out there, like, children accounts of like them like licking a lollipop, and the amount of saves on these videos is absolutely it's sickening, it's revolting. It's essentially like we're sexualizing children, and these parents are making money off their children being online without their children being able to fully understand the gravity of the situation. And it will say things like account ran by mum. The mum isn't even in the fucking videos. Like, you won't even see the mum once. For me, that's where I draw the line. And especially with everything going on at the moment, with, there being risks to child safety, things being done with AI, with children's photos. I just think, like, once it's out there, it's out there. These are children, like, they can't make that decision. I'm quite passionate about it because I wrote about children's rights for my dissertation, and like I say, I'm not shaming people for showing the children online, for showing the family life. Like, you do you, but there is, and again, there is risks in every area in that respect. But when you are literally making an account to make money off your child, for one, you are making money off your child being online. Where's the money going? And I've seen people speak out about it like, oh, well, we put the money away into a fund for them for when they're older. Fairs, completely fairs. But what if they didn't want to choose to be plastered everywhere online in child-centric content? It is absolutely fucked. Also, I saw this video of this girl online, and she was fuming. This is kind of away from the AI point, but she was fuming that she'd ran out of Drunk Elephant skincare. She looked about 6 or 7, right? And I was like, God, this is sad. First of all, I can't afford Drunk Elephant skincare, really. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm 27 and I've only really had the fucking tester kit of Drunk Elephant. Drunk Elephant products like £100 range each. And you've got a 7-year-old. She was having like a bit of a tantrum over the fact that like she'd run out of Drunk Elephant. It just signals like this kind of new world that we're living in, these like new trends. And I'm trying to think back to when I was a kid and like what I was doing. I still had like little products and stuff like that I used, but I just think like that in itself definitely signals quite a change in terms of like what children want. Is the rise of like short form content and social media, and the fact that our generation have started having children, is that feeding into children now? All they're being chucked is like iPads, tablets, iPhones, and then they're consuming all this content online, probably like people doing the skincare and stuff like that, which, don't get me wrong, I love like skincare routine videos, like vlogs, but I'm choosing as an adult to watch that and consume that. But I can only imagine if I was like a child and I'm seeing that stuff, you're then conforming to it. Like I would always look at like older girls when I was younger and think, oh my God, they're so cool, and like look at what they were doing and just be like, wow, I want to do that. And you know, is that kind of where this comes from? All this skincare craze with children, the products shouldn't even be on your child's skin. They're not even like developed yet, never mind like using harsh products. I remember I was in Sephora at the Trafford Centre once, and there was this girl asking about retinol. Retinol? Are you fucking mad? I'm sorry, but it just signals quite a change. Sorry, I've diverted off a bit there. Let's get back to like the rise of AI and actually what this means for society, because we essentially, and me at one point, like I will admit this, right? I caught myself out literally asking ChatGPT about everything. I didn't even realize this had happened to me. Okay. I am not joking you. Like I was catching myself, like, you know, for the element of convenience and wanting that like quick fire answer, asking ChatGPT. First of all, it's taking away our freedom of thought and trusting yourself. Just trust yourself. Why are we asking ChatGPT what to have for our fucking dinner? Like, it is absolutely insane. But we are not to blame for this, but there is something that we can do about this. We can at the very least, minimize our use. There's a balance to be struck, okay? In terms of like work-wise and keeping up with the times, yes, AI can be a good and powerful tool to use, whether it's like at work, to grow a business, I don't know. Yes, there are good ways to use it and make use of it. And yes, we shouldn't fall behind. When we're at a point of like reliance, I do believe that we are essentially being brainwashed to rely on it and to lose attention span to the point of that we just want this like quick answer. We're not willing to wait. Oh, like what do we do about this? And it's not normal. We need to try and strip things back and balance out the digital age, the rise of AI and everything going on, with a sense of our personal self and community, and that we do actually have the answers within us. Go within, look within about what answers you can generate for yourself, because they are there, but we are essentially brainwashed into thinking that they're not. It leads you to kind of question your own choices, your own sense of self, and it's not normal. Like I say, balance it out. I'm not saying that I haven't ever or won't ever again use AI for something, but there's a way of balancing that proportion out and not letting it take over your life. Do you know what I mean? I've really cut down my use with it. Like I say, there's only kind of certain things, if it's like to do with like a work element thing, that I would use it for. I'm really trying to like take a step back from it. I think that it's important that we try and go back to our roots a little bit. As another side note, obviously like the environmental impact of using AI. For example, some large data centers consume up to 5 million gallons of water per day. Are you fucking joking? I've seen some like mad statistics about like, you know, AI used more than like some states in America water-wise last year. What is going on? It's getting out of hand. And then when you're seeing things like what Grok can do now, this is the shit that years ago when AI first started kind of getting spoken about, that we were all worried about. This is now the reality. And I think now it's about stripping back to our roots, trusting our own sense of self, not letting literal artificial clue is in the name, intelligence take over. It's not even reliable half the time. I remember I input some data that I already had into an AI engine basically, and said, please pick out some of the main brands in this list of brands, okay? It generated me a list of brands, and I remember looking at the list it generated thinking, I swear that even at first glance, I've not seen any of those names listed at all in the data that I had put in. So this was concrete data. It wasn't an open-ended question for AI to answer. This was like genuinely, here is the data. There's no way that you could do it wrong. So the AI sent me back a list of brands, and I'm thinking, I swear I don't even remotely recognize any of them off that list, okay? Now, I straight up said, sorry, can you double check, are these on the list? Please give me a yes or a no answer. Like, facts be facts, you get me? There's no way around answering a yes or a no question. And it said, yes, I can confirm these names are in there. So then I had to use Excel and go through and type them in. And it was like, no results found from the data and all of that. They categorically are not on this list. So then I've said to ChatGPT straight up, I'm not even joking, why are you lying? Please explain. I swear to God, I wish I could find this because it was a while ago. It actually replied saying, yes, I'm so sorry. Yes, I did lie. It actually said, yes, I lied because I was using essentially my collection of data to infer what could potentially be on the list of brands. Essentially what it was saying is that it had used its own data collection over what would be termed as a popular brand to infer what could potentially be on the list and what is likely to be on the list without even actually looking at the list. So it had straight up lied and not even looked at my data and just thought, fuck it, I'll just send her this rogue list of brands, which could potentially be a popular brand, but they're not even on there. And literally then went on to admit it was lying. Now, what I'm getting at is AI is flawed in the aspect of, first of all, that created even more work for me. I genuinely could have gone through and just scanned over the list myself and done it way quicker. It's also showing that even when you give ChatGPT concrete evidence or data, that it will not always use it correctly, or it could easily manipulate the answer that it gives you back to benefit what ChatGPT's perception is, or what the AI engine's perception is of the situation. You could actually just be generating even more work for yourself in the end than you expected, basically. It is flawed, and why would I trust this thing with getting information together when it can't even look at concrete data, like the words are in front of you, and it can't even do that and actually extract things from it? It does beg the question. And what I was mentioning earlier, the human touch element, is AI fully going to take over? What I've realised is recently, although it's scary, it will never take over the human touch. Humans crave humans. Like, when you ring a customer support line and you're speaking to a robot and I'm on the blower and I'm like, fucking hell, put me through to an agent now. I'll lose my head. I don't want to speak to a fucking robot. We are not robots. We are human in our very nature. AI will continue to grow. And the more that we all use it and implement it in our life, it is gonna be there. So it's about accepting that, acknowledging it, and thinking, right, what can I do and use it for which actually benefit me? But where is the line crossed? Essentially, for example, like with the podcast jingle, the human touch will never go without, because that's what I thought I was paying for. And then I ended up being even more frustrated, like, fucking AI again. Fair enough, it's great if you want to use it. But the human touch of being able to collaborate with someone, being able to say, oh, can we change this? Can we do this? How about we explore this new idea? You can't do that properly with AI. So although, yes, AI will probably inevitably take some jobs away. I mean, I think it already has done. Do you know what I mean? It is scary. But the human touch will always come back around. In design, creativity, in content, like the content that we consume. For example, I don't want to watch an AI TV show. That is probably going to come about in a few years. If Netflix want to fucking cut the costs and they make an AI TV series, I can imagine it'll be done. It's giving Black Mirror. Do you know what I mean? There's already AI music out. There was an AI song trending on TikTok recently, and I think there was some sort of legal dispute with Georgia Smith because the vocal sounded extremely similar to Georgia Smith, and I think it had been used in the AI prompt to generate the song. The song was dead catchy, right? Anyway, I think they've come to some sort of agreement now. And I've heard the song on the radio. The song is on the fucking radio. We live in an age where AI music, fake music is on the radio. And do you know what? It's actually a bit of a bop. It's catchy. Humans are not we don't want everything to be this like AI engine, this fakeness to life. I want to know what's real and what's not. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, although we live in scary times, I think now it's about stripping things back, finding the balance of what works for us, what's safe, and actually what content we're consuming, because there's a lot of AI generated stuff out there. I'm not saying that it's all bad. I've seen some cracking AI content. I have. When you're scrolling, for example, and you don't even know that what you're looking at is real or fake, that's where I think it's a bit worrying. I think we need to be declaring what's AI and what's not. Also, the element of community and finding our roots again, and, you know, building new connections outside of this fakeness, basically. This is why I do like podcasts and like long form content to consume, because at least, you know, I mean, bloody hell, there might be bloody AI podcasts soon, but at least, you know, like you're having a chat, you sat down with a brew and you're having a chat, an honest conversation with a person, a real person. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, like I say, I don't deny I've used AI myself. I will probably use it again at some point, but I think there's a level of awareness to be had with the use of it and the risks associated, basically. I hope that you have enjoyed my little AI debate. I just felt like I needed it. I just felt there's a lot of this shit going on right now. My side notes for life, I'm going to round the episode off with: we are not alive to be data points in an AI engine. I saw that quote online the other day and it just got me thinking, wow, we're not here for this. We're here to live. We're here to be in nature. We're here to have fun, be happy, to just be data in this big fucked up search engine that the world is becoming. Do you know what I mean? I am going to round off this episode here. I really hope you enjoyed my debate. I will be back next Monday. I do episodes every Monday across Apple Podcasts, Spotify and YouTube. If you've watched on YouTube, please hit the subscribe button and give it a thumbs up. If you've listened on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, please write me a review. It would really, really help me whilst I'm at the start of my podcasting journey. Thank you so much for listening, and I will see you in the next episode. Bye.